So we have some big things happening in the world of a Wayfinder, and in this video, we're going to go over all of them. There has been a recent Twitter AMA that gave us some pretty juicy information. They have also made some adjustments to the game since the last beta, and the next iteration of the beta is going to be live on May the 10th at 10 a.m. CT. It's going to last until May 14th at 10 a.m. CT. So that means if you're currently watching this video, the beta is either underway or it is going to happen very, very soon. So let's jump into the recent Twitter AMA so we can look at some of the things that are going to change from last beta to this beta. The AMA just has some general questions, but it also has some very good information in here. And then we're going to take a look at some of the things, some of the big things that they are changing for this beta and beyond. The first question for the AMA was, are we going to be able to pick any of the 6 revealed Wayfinders at start? The answer was that Wingrave, Silo, and Nis will be available at the start of your adventure, and then Cairo, Sinja, and Vitimus and additional characters that we continuously add over time will be earnable and craftable in game. I think this was a contention point for some people. I think some people thought that you were going to be able to play all the characters. I did see a few comments about that. However, this makes sense to me. You want to give players something to grind for, something to chase after, and being able to obtain the characters is going to be part of the fun in Wayfinder. And then the next question that was asked was, will there be mechanics to earn or craft a Wayfinder multiple times to get certain bonuses, like a lot of gacha games do? They replied, great question. Our awakening system allows you to collect and craft more characters, making them stronger and more powerful as you play, as they're all game drops and not purchasable. And to my knowledge, Wayfinder's not going to have any types of gacha mechanics, at least that's what I understand. The next question says, what kind of customization options are we going to be looking at in regards to character appearance? Not being able to tune your favorite character / class to make them look the way you want is a huge gamble. They replied and they said there will be in-game customization options to make your character feel unique to you as you go through the stories we have to tell. We've seen a lot of footage of some customization already, and I would assume that that's only going to become more and more available with more and more options to customize your character. That's definitely one of the points of contention for Wayfinder, is that it is a character-based game. However, I don't think that any characters are going to really look the same, because I do think they're going to add a ton of customization options. At least that's what it sounds like. The next question said, are you going to have pets as cosmetics? They said the world of Evanor is full of amazing creatures, and you better believe some will be by your side. So it sounds like we are going to get some sort of pets within the game. That might be pretty interesting to see if they have any kind of abilities or any other kind of special things that come along with them. We'll have to wait and see. Will we have our own personal space, like a house or a room or a dojo? There will be housing options for you. While we don't have additional info to share quite yet, know that you will get to have your own space in Evanor. That's huge for me. I think player housing in this type of game is going to be incredible. It should be really fun. Will the game feature full matchmaking for PvE dungeons and all? There will be matchmaking options so you can join up with friends or new teammates pretty easily. Is there going to be any way to earn gear that changes your appearance, or is all that store-bought? Like, is there anything that will set you apart in your appearance based on achievements? There will be earnable cosmetics in game for you, along with exclusive seasonal content. So again, sounds like we're going to get a lot of cosmetics via achievements and purchasable cosmetics, and so through some other methods possibly. And then here is a big one. How is damage calculated? The reply is each attack or ability has its own multiplier of your attack power or ability power to deal damage, and break power to do break damage if they are armored and have a resilience bar. It's quite the mouthful, but it goes on to explain. Attack power is used for all weapon attacks and abilities, and then ability power is used for all character abilities. Break power is always used for doing break damage from any source. Enemies have no physical or magic defense like the players, so the only damage reduction on enemies will come from a buff or if they are armored. And if they're armored, they will reduce incoming damage while not guard broken, just like the player does. So here's an example. Sword attack 1 would have your attack power times 0.75, and then your break power would be times 0.3. Then sword attack 6 would have attack power at 1.1 and then break power at times 0.4. And then shield attack 1 would be attack power 0.55 and break power 0.95. And then shield attack 4 would have attack power times 0.7 and break power times 0.15. So again, every attack or ability is going to have its own multiplier that is going to multiply by your attack power or ability power. And then that's going to be what deals the damage or break power to do break damage if they're armored and have a resilience bar. So that's how damage is going to be calculated within the game. It seems like it's fairly straightforward. Then they go on to say that enemies work the same way, where they have attack power, ability power, and break power. Players have physical defenses, which mitigates some damage from attacks that use power, magic defense that mitigates damage from enemy attacks that use ability power, and then enemy break power will damage the player's resilience bar. So it does sound like that combat and the way it's calculated is going to be fairly straightforward. We'll have to see how that plays out, but sounds very promising to me. Will there be characters of different heights and sizes? The people of Evernoir are going to come in all shapes and sizes, and height doesn't matter. Conviction to save Evernoir is what's important. So then they say yes, that's a yes. Are there any plans for PvP content? This is a big one. I think we've covered this on the channel before. They said while we'd love to have PvP sometime during the life of Wayfinder, it's currently not the focus of the game, but never say never. So I would imagine that at some point down the road, they'll think about adding some PvP content. Who knows when that'll be, or they might not ever add it. Who knows? But as of right now, they're trying to polish and refine the game on the PvE side. And then maybe later on down the road, we'll see something like that come into the game. Now that the AMA is done, we're going to take a look at some of the big changes they have made from the last beta to this beta and what we have to look forward to whenever this game goes into early access. One of the big things that they have added is a jump, dash, and movement speed increase. So they say as a Wayfinder, they want you to not only feel powerful, but swift. Whether it's nimbly dancing around enemies in combat or mastering the terrain across Evernoir, to assist with this maneuverability, we have added a jump dash and increased overall movement speed, so you can now traverse dungeons and outplay opponents more quickly. I think this is going to be pretty good. I think anytime you add more mobility and more movement to the game or to any game and make the movement more fluid, it becomes a little bit more fun. Then we also have movement while queued. So you're no longer going to be confined while in your queue for dungeons. So once you queue up for a lost zone at the Gloom Gate, you're going to be able to move around freely and continue to explore the world while you're in that queue, which is absolutely massive. That way you're not just standing there waiting for this queue to pop. You can actually go around and do other things. That is a fantastic addition to the game. They also added a material codex. So the material codex is just going to give you an approximation of where to find particular materials that you're looking for. It's going to be right in the game. So if you're struggling to find certain materials, you can open up this codex and then you'll be able to find those materials, or at least find a general area in which you need to go search for them. That's a pretty good addition as well. Very nice quality of life feature for sure. And then they made a lot of performance optimization and stability gains since the last beta, which is amazing. They overhauled the camera, which is another really big thing for the game. They said that it could be at times tricky to track your enemies or even your own character due to the twisted and maze-like nature of their lost zones. So they completely overhauled the camera system to provide smart direction for both walls and enemies in the world, and now will automatically adjust the camera's positioning for a smoother, less frustrating experience. I think that's great news. Hopefully that will come into fruition whenever we play the game. I really hope that the camera angles are smooth and look great, but that's good news. Then they have some really big gameplay adjustments coming in. So they also implemented numerous enhancements to improve gameplay with some more clearer FX animations for critical hits and guidance on when to block and parry to help mitigate damage, and a revamp to the Gloom Gate mission and end of mission screen. If you watched any of the footage that was released from the previous betas, you'll know that the end screen was pretty basic. So now they have a very nice screen that's going to give you quite a lot of information about the expedition whenever you're finished, which is a very nice quality of life feature for sure. So that's it. That's going to do it. I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed in case you are in the beta. You'll know what to look forward to, know the things to test out these new features. You'll know to be looking for some of this stuff. You won't be surprised by the jump dash. Go try that out if you're in the beta. If you're not in the beta and you have to wait until early access, just know that a lot of good things are coming to Wayfinder. I think they're working very hard on this game. It looks like it's changed a lot during testing, so I, for one, am looking forward to it. But I just wanted to bring you guys this Wayfinder news. You'd be caught up on the latest things going on in the world of Evernoir. But that's going to do it, boys and girls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be playing and streaming a lot of Wayfinder whenever this comes out. And of course, we'll be creating a ton of content over here on YouTube for it too. But thank you guys again. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that too. But that'll do it. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.